The jungle fell silent. A mother dog, fighting with every ounce of strength, was caught in the crushing coils of a massive python. Her puppies stood helpless in the mud, until one of them did the unthinkable. What happened next shocked everyone and proved the true meaning of courage and love. In a muddy clearing, a mother dog led her tiny puppies toward the water's edge, their playful barks echoing through the trees. She stayed close, ever watchful, her eyes scanning every shadow. For her, protection was instinct, her only purpose. Then it happened. From the undergrowth, a giant python struck with terrifying speed. Before she could react, its massive coils wrapped around her body, squeezing with bone-crushing force. The puppies scattered, yelping in confusion, their eyes wide with fear. The mother didn't think of herself. Every snap of her jaws, every desperate thrash was not for survival, but to give her puppies a chance to live. She knew the danger was greater than her strength, yet she refused to give in. In that moment, her sacrifice became clear. She would fight death itself if it meant saving her young. The puppies froze, their tiny paws sinking into the mud as their world turned into a nightmare. Just moments ago, they had been playing beneath the safety of their mother's watchful eyes. Now, those same eyes burned with pain as the python's coils tightened around her. Their cries pierced the jungle, high-pitched yelps that carried both fear and desperation. One puppy stumbled forward, then retreated, too small to understand what to do. Another pressed against its sibling, trembling. Their soft whines blending together like a plea for help no one could hear. They could see her struggling, her chest heaving, her teeth bared, her body twisting against the python's crushing power. And yet, even in her agony, her eyes darted back to them, a silent command: stay back. Don't come closer. But puppies don't understand commands the way adults do. What they felt was instinct, love, fear, and the terror of losing the one who had been their whole world since birth. Each second felt heavier, each cry sharper, as they realized their mother might not break free. Their fear grew, but so did something else. In their tiny hearts, the spark of courage began to flicker. The python's coils wound tighter with each passing second, muscles rippling like living chains of iron. The mother dog's growls turned into strained whimpers as her ribs pressed under the suffocating force. Her legs kicked weakly in the mud, splashing water as she clawed for breath that refused to come. Every squeeze from the serpent was designed to end her fight. Her jaws snapped wildly, teeth slicing the air, desperate to find purchase on the snake's thick, scaled body. The jungle seemed to hold its breath. Time stretched painfully, each moment pushing her closer to the edge of defeat. Her eyes, however, never left her pups. Even as the coils constricted, she growled with defiance, a final promise. I will fight until my last breath if it means you are safe. But the python's strength was merciless, and her body began to falter. If hope was to remain, it would have to come from the unlikeliest of places, her own frightened puppies. For a moment, the puppies only whimpered, their tiny bodies shaking. But then, something changed. The smallest of them, hardly steady on its legs, took a hesitant step forward. Its paws sank into the mud, but it didn't stop. With a squeaky bark, it faced the monstrous python holding its mother captive. The serpent barely noticed at first, its focus on the mother dog's weakening struggles. Yet the puppy's bark grew louder, sharper. It lunged, nipping at the python's thick tail. The others, inspired, followed, yelping, snapping, circling the coils with a desperate energy that echoed their mother's fight. The python shifted, annoyed by the sudden flurry of movement. For the first time, its concentration wavered. The smallest distraction gave the mother dog a sliver of relief. Enough for her to drag in a gasp of air. Mud splashed as another puppy leapt onto the coils, scratching with its tiny paws, more symbolic than effective. But it didn't matter. What mattered was their courage, their refusal to stand by as their mother slipped away. Against fear, against instinct, the puppies had chosen to fight. And in that moment, hope, fragile but real, entered the battlefield. Tiny barks mixed with the mother's strained growls, the air heavy with the hiss of the python. The puppies darted around the coils, their cries echoing through the jungle like a desperate alarm. It was as if they were calling for anyone, anything, to come help. Point one bold pup bit again at the serpent's tail, teeth sinking just enough to draw its attention. The python shifted, loosening its grip for the briefest moment. The mother seized the chance, twisting violently, forcing her body against the coils. Her chest expanded with a shuddering gasp of air, one breath stolen back from death. But the serpent retaliated, tightening again, determined to finish what it had started. The mother whimpered, her strength fading. Still, the puppies did not stop. Their barks grew louder, sharper, as they clawed and snapped at the predator far bigger than themselves. Their cries carried far, piercing the silence of the jungle, a signal that did not go unheard. The python writhed in irritation, torn between its prey and the growing swarm of yelping attackers. Every second became a battle of inches, life hanging on the edge of survival. The puppies' courage had bought their mother a chance, but they couldn't hold on forever. Somewhere beyond the trees, rustling answered their cries. Help was coming. But would it arrive before the serpent crushed the last breath from their mother's lungs? The puppies' frantic cries carried beyond the clearing, cutting through the stillness of the jungle. Not far away, a group of villagers gathering firewood stopped in their tracks. The sound was urgent, desperate, unlike any they had ever heard. Without hesitation, they followed the noise, pushing through the thick brush. When they reached the clearing, the sight froze them in place. A giant python coiled around the mother dog, her body weakening, her puppies clawing and barking in defiance. It was a scene of raw survival, a family fighting against impossible odds. The villagers dropped everything and sprang into action. Armed with sticks and tools, they rushed forward, shouting and striking at the python. Startled, the serpent hissed, its coils tightening briefly before loosening under the sudden onslaught. For the first time, real hope surged. Help had arrived, and the battle for the mother's life was no longer hers alone. The python hissed in fury, thrashing violently as sticks and tools rained down on its thick body. With one final blow to its head, the serpent recoiled, its massive coils unwinding from the mother dog. She collapsed to the ground, gasping for air, her chest rising and falling in ragged bursts. For a terrifying moment, she lay still, and the puppies cried louder, scrambling to her side. Then, her eyes flickered open. Weak, trembling, but alive, the puppies swarmed her, licking her face, nuzzling her wounds, their small bodies pressing against her as if to shield her from danger once more. The villagers watched in silence, tears glistening in their eyes. Against the odds, a mother's sacrifice and her puppy's courage had won. She had survived, and their bond was stronger than ever. In the center lay the mother dog, her breathing steady at last, surrounded by her puppies who refused to leave her side. Their tiny bodies pressed close, whimpering softly, as though they understood the miracle they had just witnessed. The villagers stayed nearby, watching in awe. One whispered, "Those little ones saved her life." Another nodded, wiping his eyes. They had all seen bravery before, but never like this. Never from creatures so small, yet so fearless when love was on the line. As the sun dipped low, the mother dog raised her head, licking each puppy in turn. Her eyes, once clouded with pain, now shone with pride. She had fought for them, and when her strength faltered, they had fought for her. Together, they had defied death itself. The villagers carried her gently back to safety, her puppies trotting faithfully alongside. Their bond had turned tragedy into triumph, proving that courage is not measured by size, but by love. And so, the story of a mother and her brave pups became a reminder for everyone who heard it. Family protects family, no matter the cost.